Shalom Akim, Yehovah Hashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kwakadesh, double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Gomer'S on you well. Barakatah to the Akim, preaching the words of Yahweh Shemashah in sincerity and in truth. So it's been a DC camp with another short lesson, man. Just to accept that this World War III is no joke, man. The tension is real. It's gonna be so messed up, man. These are times that we never had exist before, because it's the Lord's way of creating new things upon the face of the earth. This type of conflict is going to be the most advanced warfare fought upon the face of the earth, and ever since its beginning, ever since its foundation. All right, so it's going to be beautiful, man. To see how the Lord Yahweh will let this pan out, because a lot of folks don't understand, man, that the Spirit of the Lord is moving diligently, man. He's working on the minds of these elites to cause certain things to take place. All right, and then you already see the writing at the bottom of the screen. It says Turkey Russian S-400 missile hardware arrives. So they could have delivered it, a year ago, days ago, months ago, weeks ago. All right, but it arrived this week. So United States and NATO are not pleased with it. They're upset. But hey, they could be upset all they want. It's all the will of the Lord Yahweh Shai, because it's all a set of the stage. All right, preparing the stage for war, and the troops have to be ready. And then these S-400 systems, man, they are no joke. They're up, on the top level of a missile defense system. All right, and then you hear about the United States talking about they want to have their own missile defense shield. They want to put some in Turkey. They want to put some in Europe and Poland and all that stuff to protect themselves against an existential threat of Iran. By the end of the day, man, they're preparing to push Russia into a corner too. All right, so that's exactly what we see on the screen.
It's a Russian-built missile system, and it's causing a rift between NATO allies. The decision by Turkey to buy the S-400 air defense battery from Moscow has annoyed the United States. They're now threatening sanctions if the missiles are deployed in Turkey.
Yep, so it's a done deal, man. There is no turning back from this. When you read Ezekiel chapter 38, it talks about the hooks being placed in the jaw of the bear. This is one example of what you see. This is the result of that prophecy taking place, all right? And still have more to come, all right? So, the United States could have easily put their own missiles defense system in Turkey, but the Turkish don't want it, because the Turkish want to have control of a missile defense system. They want to have theirs that they could customize, for their own agenda. But Esau doesn't want that, So you rather set up stage with his own troops in a foreign country and manage the deployment of the Patriot missile system, rather than sell it to the Turkish. All right. So just understand, man, it's all about politics of power. All right. But at the end of the day, you just have to look at it for what it is, man. These elites, they want to have control at any cost. And now that Turkey already received their shipments, who knows if they got any more shipments coming in of this S-400, systems. All right. So that's what it is, man. Esau wants control of certain equipments that he could use in battle. All right. But when nations start to have their own, he start to push those sanctions.
It may be too late for that.
I'm not going to say that we will purchase the S-400 missile system. We already have purchased it. It's a done deal. Next month, this system is going to be delivered.
The S-400 is one of the most sophisticated surface-to-air missile systems in the world. It has a range of 400 kilometers and can shoot down up to 80 targets simultaneously, designed to detect, track, and then destroy any airborne machine that poses a threat. And Turkey says it's needed.
And that's some serious stuff, man. The radar system on that S-400 is no joke, man. You know, you could detect jets and whatever I mean, jets and planes from hundreds of miles away. All right, and then just lock in. You know, by the time they detect any missile being shot from the air, they're already there. You know, couple of less than 2 seconds. You know to keep up. All right, so that element of surprise is taken away, and that's what Esau likes. The element of surprise during his battles.
In one of the most volatile regions of the world, with a conflict in Syria that's lasted 8 years and numerous missile attacks on Turkey, an air defense system is perceived as a must-have facility.
Not only the Syrian crisis influenced Turkey's defense industry, but also the changing security dynamics in the Middle East, especially the proliferation of the non-state military actors and terrorist organizations in the region.
It's been made clear by the government here in Ankara that they want to develop an indigenous defense technology, one that can be customized to their needs without being over-reliant on any other nation, and that includes the United States. The preferred option in the eyes of NATO is the US-built and combat-proven Patriot defense shield. It's been used in Turkey before, operated at various times by German, Spanish and US forces. But a deal to buy the Patriots was not agreed with the United States, and there were concerns in Turkey over a veto by the US Congress. But as things stand, the second largest army in NATO is soon to deploy the Russian S-400 missiles, no matter what the diplomatic complications. Francis Colling.
And that's the point right there. They want control of a defense system that they can use, but the so-called EU doesn't want that. So-called NATO don't want that. All right, because it doesn't fit their agenda. But it doesn't matter whether it fits their agenda or not. It's all the will of the Lord Yahweh Shai. And once those sanctions start to be applied to Turkey, they could be isolated from the EU. Poor diplomatic relationship. And then you also have the United States Air Force base that's there. They could lose that. Then they have to go find another location somewhere else. To stage their operations if they want to go after Iraq, if they want to go after Syria, if they want to go after Iran or Russia. All right, so they gotta, think about those things, and the other bases in the area. All right, so just imagine, man, the Turks decide, well, you know what, we're not gonna man the S-400 systems. We're gonna let the Russians take care of it. So that means American troops, with their so-called air supremacy in the area, will have a difficult time, going above a set, going into the air to conduct operations, bombing locations. It's going to be hard, all right, because that Turkey is in a nice location for Russia to counter the United States forces, especially its air force. All right, so it's gonna be terrible, man. Because the Russians, the ones that built it, so they'll be the ones that know how to use it the most. They know how to, calibrate it to get the juice out of it. So that's the one aspect, of this geopolitics, man, that we have to be aware of, man. And then I get to another precept here. This is gonna be from. Let me just shut down the Wi-Fi connection. All right. So this is the book of Job. Job chapter 20, verse 24. And it says, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him true. So Israel's military in the Middle East, man, gonna have a hard time, escaping all these advanced missile defense systems, you know, and it's gonna be terrible, man. They'll have to they'll have to back down. Have to look at other options, whether they have to strike first or sabotage the equipment. So it's gonna be rough, man. Only Lord Yabashima Shah knows how it's gonna pan out. So verse 25 says, "It is drawn and cometh out of the body, yea, the glistening sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him." So that S-400, man, is causing so much panic in the EU and NATO because it's gonna change the playing field. The playing fields. Interactions. All right, so it's gonna be madness, man, when all hell breaks loose over there. All right, and then you got another precept from the book of Nahum chapter 3, and then you look at verse 19. All right, so it says, "There is no healing of that bruise; that wound is grievous." So that's what's gonna happen. That the EU, NATO, and the United States, man. They're gonna have a credibility issue, man. They're gonna be in a weak position to counter the military might of the allies of the Middle East, that have joined themselves to Russia and China. It's gonna be messed up, and also the other nations in Africa that will go along with the Middle Eastern countries that are against America. All right, so it's gonna be a mess. All right, but that's what the Lord Abba Shimashai set, to take place. All right, so it says, "All that hear the bruit of thee shall clap their hands over thee." All right, for upon whom had not that wickedness passed continually. All right, so this world, these nations, man, they're pissed off at the options they have when it comes to negotiating with America. So they don't really like to be talked down to and to be pushed around like bitches. All right, so they're gonna do what they can in these last days, man. Whatever missiles and ammunition and weapons get smuggled into their countries, to protect themselves and to cause damage to the United States and some NATO allies that are trying to conduct operations against Iran and some other Arab countries. It's gonna be so strange, man. They're gonna be dumbfounded. All right, they're gonna figure out, that wow, we didn't know that this was gonna be taking place. All right, because you don't know what type of weapons these so-called rebel groups and all these militaries have, man. At any point in time, they could change sides. All right. So last precept I will get will be from the book of Obadiah, verse 1. All right. So it says, "A vision of Obadiah. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashah Ba'ashem Kodash concerning Adawam." All right, that's a so-called white race, but so-called Caucasian, but the focus is on America. It says, "We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen." All right, who's going to be that ultimate ambassador? Be among the heathen that will say, "Arise, ye, and let us rise up against her in battle." That's going to be the Russians. They'll be the ones that have the ultimate confidence. You know, and then when you read the book of Revelation, it talks about the the beast, that had the feet of a leopard. That's the leopard that had the feet of a bear. That lets you know that that's Esau's power structure, man, from the Greeks, to the bear, all right, which is the Medo-Persian Empire, which is nowadays we call Russia, all right. So Russia is basically, the bear, all right, and that's what you're gonna have to be dealing with, man. So it's gonna be rough, man. You got to see the chaos that would take place. All right. So all this agenda, they keep pushing on the news. You're not gonna get the whole detail. You have to look at everything from look at whatever these different nations are putting out there, man. You gotta see what's going on from these Middle Eastern countries, these other European countries, Asia, United States and South America and Africa. So that way you have the pieces of the puzzle, but the ultimate puzzle, the ultimate source of information is the Holy Scriptures. So you can't run away from the prophecies, man. You're gonna get the perfect understanding when you patch everything together. You put the whole puzzles together and look at it from a spiritual standpoint, according to the Holy Spirit. According to what Lord Yahweh Shema Shah put in the scriptures. So that was the point there I came, it's going to be so messed up.
TRT World, Ankara.
Yeah, so just have to understand, man, it's no joke. It's no joke. So just make sure that Lord Yahweh Shema Shah becomes a top, is the top priority, when you are, moving along, through this society, man, And then verse 2 says, Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. Thou art greatly despised. So that's America's destiny right there, man, to be despised, among the other nations. You're right. So America's losing its influence, and the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is making sure that it happens, at a steady pace. And till then, hey, you just gotta wait. You gotta wait on the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai to reveal his intent in these last days. So that's the point there I came. So I say, Kahala Yahweh Bashim Yashai Bashim Kwakadash. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Gomer'S well. And the Akim that looking towards the fulfillment of the Lord's prophecies. Shalom.